Just thought I'd talk you through, in case you're interested, my touring setup for my Brompton. This is based on what I saw on the Brompton Traveller. It did a really good setup, but I wanted to make it slightly simpler for myself. So this is a Patagonia MLC bag, the sort of thing you take on as carry on a plane. It doesn't have to be Patagonia, you can use any. I'll show you how I put this together in a minute. But basically I've adapted it slightly, so it has two clips which go on the back of the Brompton rack, two clips there, and then on the back here I've got a Paradise Bagman clip system which allows you to attach saddlebags to your Brompton saddle. I think it probably works with other saddles, but specifically designed for Brompton, not Brompton, the Brooks saddle I should say, B17. So there's a slightly fiddly clip system there. There's one and that's two. So that's now attached to there with those two clips at the bottom, two clips at the top, and that makes it pretty stable. It makes it very stable. You can see it doesn't go anywhere when you lean, and it is plenty of heel clearance. I tend to also put a small, this is an Alpkit one, waterproof bag in here, which is where I keep my water. Towards the end of the day I collect some water, pop that in there, and then take the standard Brompton straps which come with the rack, put them through those loops there, and then between them, that's 8 litres, 45 litres and 28 litres, well over 70 litres, plenty for touring, very easy to take on and off, and also this goes on your back, that folds up and goes inside, and then I have a Brompton in one hand, Brompton bag in the other hand, and that allows me to use planes, trains and automobiles. So it's a really good simple setup, and it's really cheap and easy to do. I'll show you how I did it. Okay, so what you need one of these sort of carry-on type bags. This one happens to be a Patagonia one that I've had for a long time. Rucksack straps go in the back. There's lots of different makes of these. So basically you need a rucksack one, so you can put it on your back when you're carrying your Brompton in one hand and your Brompton bag in the other. You just need to make sure it has straps at the bottom. You can see this has got double buckles, I'll explain that in a minute. So you need some sort of bag like that. Then you need to buy Paradise Bagman adapter. I think this was about £8. You need to have a 25mm strap. This is one I got from Paradise. It's 25mm in width, or you can use actually on my one I used a belt. This is one I bought for about £7 off eBay, but I happen to have a Rohan one. So, but you just need a piece of 25mm webbing, so that you can get from Paradise or use an old bag. This is a specific Bagman adapter, and these are amazing. These are Cedar Summit field repair buckles. I think it was £15 for the pair. You need to make sure you get the same width as the strapping, so 25mm fits in there perfectly, and you need to make sure that you're getting a version with one pin on it. They do a 2-pin version. It's designed so you can repair your rucksack in the field, but you can also use it in the way I'm about to describe. So the Patagonia bag comes with these hideaway straps and therefore has buckles at the bottom, but they're not standard buckles. So I bought these Cedar Summit field repair buckles, and when you take them out you end up with a buckle with a pin which you can put through your existing straps. You don't have to do any sewing because I'm not up to sewing, and then you take a screwdriver and just screw the pin in. Now that's really well attached. So I have done that on both sides, so now I have the standard ones that came with the rucksack, which clip into the rucksack straps, and these 25mm buckles which clip onto the other side of the Cedar Summit. And this is the only fiddly bit. So in my case I took an old belt, an outdoor belt, and which was 25mm. I doubled it up. I put one of the Cedar Summit buckles on each side. You can see one there and one there. Just loop them through. So one has a loop on this side. This one is open and adjustable on the other side, so I can move it around. And then on the Brompton rack there are two holes which are for holding lights on. And all I did was to take a hot screwdriver, heated it up on a camping stove, and pressed it through both sides of the doubled up strap. And I made sure before I did it, I marked on here where those two holes were. And then I just took a 5M bolt, Allen bolt, with a bolt on the back, and just bolted that onto the rack. So that's going absolutely nowhere. This stuff's very strong. That's now bolted onto the back, and as you saw earlier on, because these are part of the same setup, the Cedar Summit buckles, it's a bit difficult with the camera, clip onto there, and the same on the other side, like that, and that's going nowhere. Now the other part of this is the Paradise Bagman adapter, which fits on the back of a Brooks saddle. It's a single Allen bolts to the two rails of the Brooks saddle. You then have this solid metal clip. This one's slightly old, which is why it's a bit fiddly putting it in, but basically you have these two pins which are independently, take them like this. You put the adapter in here and then you close it. So all I need to do then was to attach an adapter to the back of the rucksack. So you can see I did that here. Let me turn this around a bit. There, on the handle. And the way to do that is you buy the adapter, which I have here. As a kit. I think it's about £8. And then you use the zip ties to attach it to the handle of the rucksack. Straightforward, just put the zip ties around the handle. This then can clip into the saddlebag. So those two hoops there, those two little loops, go into there and go rock solid, as you saw when I put it on earlier on. It takes a bit of practice to get used to it, but it's really straightforward. And the other beauty of it is I also have rucksacks. No, I don't. The beauty of it is I also have saddlebags which I can also clip on to the back of my bike. I'll show you that in a second. So I also have standard Paradise saddlebags which can also clip onto the same adapter. It's kind of difficult to do while filming. There, which you can also go on the same adapter if you're not using the camping the way I was talking about. So it's a relatively straightforward setup. Cost me about £30 plus the bag, which I already had anyway, and it just seems to work extremely well. Quite happy to answer any questions. If you've got any questions on how I set it up, how I did various things, more than happy to answer questions on any of those. But as I say, based on the ideas from the Brompton Traveller, there are several other really good Brompton sites that I watch on a regular basis. I put links to those in the bottom, but hopefully they give you an idea of how you might want to set yours up if you've got a bag, something along these lines already, and you can adopt it to put on the back of your Brompton. Safe travels everyone, bye.